Alright, so I'm going to talk about my NICU plan now. When I had Callie, she went to the NICU. I was completely unprepared. I didn't know anything that happened there, how things worked, what went on, anything. I was completely unprepared. This time I am pulling out all the stops. I am making myself a plan, which hopefully the hospital is willing to follow. There was just so many things that happened when Callie was in the NICU that I really do not want to see happen again. A lot of things could have been done differently, but they weren't, and there's nothing I can do about it now. But I just wish that I really would have been more prepared for her stay in the NICU and been more informed of NICU policies and things like that. Um, I know, like, if the babies, obviously, if they need to have special treatment or care or anything, that those are going to take precedent over my wishes. But as far as some of these things go, these are things that I know can be followed, like what happens as far as information being passed between the doctors, the nurses, myself, and my partner, um, who can come and go, visit, who holds my babies, um, things like little things like that didn't happen with Callie that I wish would have happened. That definitely things that could have been done differently had I been more prepared, possibly. I don't know. Had I really been more confident in myself and my abilities, things probably would have gone differently. There was just so many things that happened when she was in there that that just shouldn't have happened. Things just were not handled the way they should have been. Information was not passed correctly. Things like that. Like, there's just many things that happened when she was in there that I was not happy with, and I'm hoping if these children go to the NICU, that those things can be avoided. If they're born after 36 weeks, chances are they will be in room with me, but if they're born before, they will be going to the NICU. So there's a very high likelihood that they could go to the NICU. That's just how it is. So I'm going to read you my plan. It's just handwritten NICU plan. It's not very long, it's just a few things, and I will leave this with a copy with each baby if they are in the NICU. And I will speak with the nurses and everything about this. Okay. So, in the event my babies go to the NICU, I have prepared a plan which I would like to see followed if possible. So, upon arrival, I want me and my partner to be the first visitors of our children. When I had Callie, we weren't the first visitors. Like, I took a shower and everything, and Jordan stayed with me. My mom and his mom stayed out in the hall or whatever. But after I took a shower, I was still in the delivery room. They let my mom and his mom come in to see me, and then they let them go to the NICU before me and Jordan went to the NICU. So when we got to the NICU, they were already there. I do not want other people to be the first people to see my baby, because I didn't even get to hold her when she was first born, and like, I just don't think that was right. Do not allow any visitors unless accompanied by myself and my partner. Our NICU policy is 2 visitors at all, like, even with plans, 2 visitors. So, but they say that, like, has to be accompanied by one parent. So either me or Jordan plus one other person, and that's it. But like when Callie was first born, like I said, they allowed me, Jordan, my mom, and his mom in, and they didn't know, so it's like, I wasn't prepared, anyway. So I don't want that to happen, though. I want it to just be me and Jordan go in to see the babies, and then me go to postpartum, and Jordan take in my mother, and then Jordan take in his mother, and that's it. I want to be informed of conditions, all vitals, everything. I want to be explained what the charts mean so that I can look them over when I get there to visit and everything. And I want to be able to hold the babies as soon as possible after birth. When Callie was born, I didn't get to hold her. They just took her they did her up in her blanket, everything, took her to the NICU. I didn't get to hold her for 4 days. I want to be able to hold my baby. Like, I know these nurses are holding them. They're giving her a bath at some point. Well, they gave Callie a bath at some point. Somebody else held my child before I got to hold her, and I want to be the first person to hold my child. Like, I don't want 5 other people to hold my kid before I ever do. Like, Yeah, sorry if this is kind of turning into a NICU rant, but that's life. Um, During their stay, I want to speak with a pediatrician as soon as possible after they're admitted to find out what the plan of action is and plan of care is. And then I want to be able to speak with the pediatrician whenever possible. Like, I want the nurses to tell me when the pediatrician is there and when he makes his rounds so that I can be there to speak with him about my kid's care. I want the nurses to be changed every 2 days and not repeated. I don't want my kids to get attached to somebody else other than me. I don't want them to see the same person 4 days in a row when they're 5 days old, and like having that nurse, like having a nurse during the day for 7 hours a day, 4 days a week, the same nurse. Like, I don't want my child to grow attached to a nurse. That's including night nurses too. I want night nurses changed every 2 days as well and not repeated. And if they are repeated, as far spaced apart as possible. I want to breastfeed, and I want to offer breast before bottle. I don't want my children being offered a bottle before they're offered to breastfeed. I want the first thing they try and eat out of, other than a tube, to be me. Callie was offered a bottle without my knowledge. Like, they just fed her through a bottle, and we're like, oh, well, we fed her through a bottle, and there was no support or anything offered with breastfeeding until the day I was going home. My last nurse that she had offered support, and that was it. I wish I would have had her the first day. Excuse me. I will pump if needed, and I'll only give the feedings with an NG tube if breastfeeding is going good. So if they are successfully being breastfed and I can't be there for a feeding, I would rather they use the pumped milk if there's pumped milk, or give formula with the tube rather than a bottle. Do not offer a pacifier. Formula if needed, again, through a tube. Unless I choose not to breastfeed at the time or something like that happens, then bottles are fine. But as things go right now, I plan on breastfeeding, and I want them to be off of breast before bottle. Visitations. Do not, under any circumstances whatsoever, allow any visitors without us there or our permission. This is a big thing for me because there are certain people who know how to talk their way into things. And I know hospitals are pretty professional and everything, but there still is that chance that that nurse, whoever it is on the visitation phone or whatever, could be talked into something. If this were to happen, I really hope it would not happen, but if this were to happen, there would be there would be hell to pay. I would be going to every single person I could. I would be making a point to have this issue corrected immediately. Like, it's just completely unacceptable. No volunteers are to hold my babies, especially before adequate bonding. So until I feel that I've had enough time to bond with my child, I don't want the volunteer cuddlers to come in and hold my kid for 3 hours. I don't want somebody else bonding with my child. That's just how it is. If I am not able to be there, the nurses to hold my baby, not volunteers. They have volunteer cuddlers that are there that they say, oh, we come in and cuddle babies that if their parents can't be there that day. But I have a 1 year. I'm going to have a 1-year-old. There may be a day or two, like when Callie was in NICU, there were snowstorms where I couldn't be there. I don't want somebody else coming in and holding my child that I don't know and bonding with my child, basically. Like, that's just not something I want to happen. Bathing and care. NICU staff can bathe my baby. I do not need to be present. That's perfectly fine. They just have their own ways that they want things done there, like procedures and stuff for bathing and everything. So if they need to be bathed, like, if they can bath her, that's fine. And I want to be able to stay in the hospital for the duration of my children's stay in the NICU if possible, so hopefully that wouldn't be too long, or as long as I could be there anyway. So that's about it. About 10 minutes. yeah, so I just really want to go into prepared and more confident in my own decisions and my own, I don't know, abilities as a parent, I guess. I want to be confident in knowing that I know what things should happen with my children. Like I said, and like you've heard a little bit of ranting, but things happen when Callie was in there that they just, I feel like things could have been done differently, and I wish they had been. Um, so if you have any questions or anything, feel free to leave them below. Um, some people may have had a great experience with their NICU. I obviously did not, but that's just how it is. So this time I want to go into it prepared and ready for anything, I guess.